Do you feel like sudden lanes just run away from you in Smite? Well, so do I. So I'm going to take a look back at some gameplay we did and try and figure out where we could improve, what we can do to just get a better laning stage out of the game. This game doesn't necessarily go all too well, that's why we've chosen it, but there are definitely some things we can pick up on here. So, first things first, we are running a Osiris in the solo lane. It's, at the moment, you can take Death's Toll, you can take Bluestone. I've gone with Death's Toll here. I was trying to sort of find my feet with which I preferred. I think at the moment I do actually prefer the Death's Toll build, and here is straight away, we're a few seconds into this, maybe the first cardinal sin of this game. I am immediately going for Berserker Shield. Seems like a pretty legitimate Osiris build, right? You've got Death's Toll, you want some attack speed, Berserker Shield, definitely a great option. But we're definitely, almost definitely going to be against a Guardian, a magical damage dealer in this lane. We're going to have Jormungandr or we're going to have Artio, most likely. There's a chance we could have Medusa or Ram, but it's probably going to be one of those Guardians. So, if we actually wanted something somewhat defensive, then there might have been better options, Shoguns, maybe even a Talisman. There are other options out there that can aid us better against our magical counterpart. Or, as I wish I had done this game, you can just go for a Chalice. I should have gone Death's Toll, Chalice, some multipots, and sort of judged how I was doing in this game. Because Death's Toll, it's healing me in this game, but it's not healing me for as much as I'd hoped so. However, we get a great first clear by pulling the wave together, and we have some solid damage on this Yorm. He is just barely going to outreach us. Can I reach him with the damage? He had a healing pot ticking. So very close there, very nearly got the Yorm. He's going to be forced back and maybe out. Although our Tsukuyomi is coming around the back for the kill. Is he going to get it? He does. Okay. So, laning stage going well for me. Bad for Yorm, and it looks like it's about to go poorly for Tsukuyomi as well. I pushed the wave as hard as I can to try and get him some space under tower, but unfortunately he dies, and now Yormi's back, and I've been leashed under tower. So I'm going to run as fast as I can, obviously I don't have my ultimate here. Using your 3 as Osiris, your sort of tether, reduces the damage by I think it's 20% at level 1 of the enemies near you, so you definitely want to be popping that as they engage on you. That was a very hectic first wave or two. We nearly poked the Yorm down, he did end up getting killed, but then our jungler got killed and we got trapped under tower, just barely escaping thanks to knowing your kit. And I guess that's one main thing to bring up. Is if you don't know the kit of the god you're playing, you are going to struggle more than someone that obviously does know what they're doing. And here we can see, because I know Osiris' kit, because I know we have AoE auto attacks, I just tap the Jormungandr, bring the front melee minions up to the back ones, and I can clear incredibly fast. And poke him right down again. So far so good. Lane going well. Their jungler did get a nice kill though on our Tsukuyomi, and we did have to use a lot of our resources to avoid dying to the tower. But yeah, learn what you can about your god. I'm fairly confident that I know how Osiris works. I might not be the most mechanically skilled Osiris, but at least know how his ability works. And if you are struggling with that, jump into an arena. That honestly, it's so quick. You can play Casual Conquest if you really hate Arena, or Slash, the new game mode that's out. But honestly, there should be no stigma attached to jumping into a Conquest. If you need to learn your god, go in there and learn it there. You see there, I have enough pressure to push the Jormungandr back, and I did spot the Medusa fighting on the other side of the map, so I just went for an invade. I'm strong, I know the jungler isn't coming. I don't have the wards up, unfortunately, so it was a little bit risky. You know, the mid laner could have come across, but the mid laner did get caught out. So, but if you can see the enemy jungler, pay attention to your minimap. You'll notice my minimap is probably bigger than yours. It's probably a lot more central than yours. You can change your UI in this game. That is a really, really, really good tool. As you see, I'm just going full aggression here. I probably shouldn't. And this actually might be where I start to lose the lane. So, right, deviating slightly. This is where I think things are going to go badly. because I feel like I'm in a commanding position as I get ganked. Medusa ults, I ult away. I probably should have ulted as she ulted. I get leashed, that's going to hold me in place. I am reducing her damage. I'm trying to kite through the minions there, hoping that they'll take the basic attacks from Medusa. But there is a Jormungandr ult that just clips me. And I'm letting my party know that Medusa and Jorm were the enemy ultimates down. As I was saying, and as what led to that very kill, I was ahead as Osiris, as you should be as Osiris, and I realize I'm a lane bully. So if I'm going to get the most out of this god, if I'm going to get the most out of this lane and set up for my team to win, I need to bully this Jormungandr. So when I realized that he'd stepped up to the minion wave, rather than just out-clearing him and forcing him back and going and farming, I left the minion wave and just tried to fight him. I just pushed right up to the end of his tower, without wards, but even with wards, we were just trading. The trade was going evenly. I wasn't actually getting that much damage off against him. And it's something that I think I keep doing here, as I just keep pushing the envelope with this Jormungandr. I'm just ignoring the minion wave entirely, and I'm just, okay, I'm going to hit the Jorm, I'm going to hit the Jorm, I'm going to hit the Jorm. This would have been an alright idea, because I have the sustain of Death's Toll, but I don't have protections against him. I don't even have my berserkers yet, so I'm not even hitting that fast or hard. But he had started building protections against me. So he is starting to hit pretty hard compared to me. And you see, I'm losing this trade. I'm ahead, but I'm losing this trade now. Tsukiyomi does come in and tries to get the kill there. Misses a few of his ultimate beams. I am able to finish it off. Tsukiyomi dies again, though. So we haven't got a perfect gank off over here. Tsukiyomi apparently did say he ulted ? I didn't know he was talking to me, but I had already confirmed earlier on that both Duza and Jorm had used their ultimates. But he was pretty chill about it, so I'm not going to go too ham on that. Just communicate with your team, and I guess if you die, you're already dead. Before you type, just press enter and look to see if, or you're like, where's the missing call? Don't make an idiot of yourself. Check to see if there was a missing call. Check to see if someone said they used their ultimate. Anyway, that's got me back into a good spot, but Medusa is here again. I dodged the ultimate, fortunately, but there's two of them here. I get the leash off. I probably should have stayed with the leash for its duration, reducing their damage, because Medusa just chases me down. I should confirm, when you leash them with Osiris 3, their damage is reduced for the entire period, but if they're still leashed to you when it runs out, they get stunned. So I probably should have stuck around for that and then leapt. But that was a little bit of a panic. I should have taken that a little bit slower. So yeah, Duza and Jorm, they're running me down. I've got my Berserker Shield now though, and I can start finally building some magical protections. I really wish I built some magical protections earlier. Unfortunately, we have the persistent teleport as well, so we can quite quickly come back to the lane. Now, I've got my new item, so I'm like, great, I'm just going to run it down, attack this Jorm. But as you'll see, just from him dropping damage on top of himself and the minions hitting me, I basically didn't come off any better. Now, he's given me space to go and heal because I have Death's Toll, which he probably shouldn't be doing. This Jorm should be running back at me, especially once I've I've used my tether, my 3. He should definitely be spotting that out, and I should be doing the same thing. After he's used his dive, I guess, I should be running after him because that's the only way he can peel himself from me. As I do here, I'm going to go for the ult, try and get that extra bit of damage on him, but it's just not doing the trick, and now he gets an ult off on me. Now, I am able to dodge the majority of this Jorm ult. It's not the hardest ultimate in the game to avoid. But that was a fairly even trade. Now, with my tether, I should have the damage advantage here, and I do, but just barely. And that basically comes down to the protections difference. Like, I'm healing, great. He's got a starter that's doing damage, so they kind of even each other out. The only way I remotely survive is because I'm reducing his damage. He has protections, which made it so close. If I'd gone for a Shogun's or a Genji's if you're going for the ability-based build, I'd be in a lot better of a spot here. And I think after the early parts of the game, I would have double back for it. Now here I realise that I'm pretty low, my teleport's about to come off cooldown again because I got a kill, so rather than go and contest that wave, which he might already be at, I'm going to clear some sides, go back, start my magical protections, and then TP in with wards. always try and keep your wards up. I was too slow there. I should have bought an extra ward there. Because you can see, Medusa's here again. Thankfully caught by my ward. You probably don't need me to tell you this. This is something that comes down to almost like a muscle memory thing. I know to buy wards. You probably know to buy wards. But I don't buy wards as often as I should, as we have a double gank here. I saw Medusa coming, but I also saw Tsukiyomi, so I was pretty sure I was safe. Tsukiyomi isn't quite going to get the kill. I ult over, but she's already dead, and Tsukiyomi will also die. So this lane has been pretty bloody. This game in general has been pretty bloody. It's 11-12 at the moment. So all things considered, pretty even. I am just slightly ahead in my lane. I mean, I'm just slightly ahead in terms of gold, but level-wise, I've got 2 levels on this guy. So resistant teleport coming in very handy there. As you can see, I've got no... Like, he's finished his physical procs now. I've just started my magical procs, and that trade went so badly for me. I had the upper hand, I had the level advantage, and he is still just destroying me in these trades. Unfortunately, he's playing quite safe, so I am healing it all back up, but a better player would definitely have punished me a lot harder. I tried to go back to focusing on the minion wave here because I realized that Yorm is kind of screwing me in the 1v1. But Yorm correctly realizes that he can go in there and tries to fight me on it. So, key takeaways so far, obviously ward, learn your god, those are some obvious ones. But for me, I need to better analyze which protections I need to buy, or maybe just buy a chalice and leave it open. And the most important takeaway for me so far, I think, is that when I feel like I should be winning and I should be bullying, don't over prioritize that. This is something I used to love doing in Smite way back when. I used to be a lot better of a player. I used to regularly see plenty of pro players in my games. Well, I mean, I'd lose most of them, but just for people trying to guess as to how much they should bother listening to me. But back in those days, I would be much better at doing that. I would have a lead and then use that lead to just extend my lead. I would go and steal jungle farm, and that's honestly something I should have been doing this game. I could force Yorm away from the wave, go back and clear the minion wave, and then go and take some of his jungle camps. Make sure we get the new jungle totem thing, whatever that is, the flowers, the fruits. Make sure I pick those up. Make sure I get Totem of Ku every time. Steal his blue. Maybe do some proxying. I do start to consider that now. As you can see, I'm stealing away his jungle. I go to steal his blue, but it's already gone. And we do see we'll see a little bit of proxying later, maybe. But it's too late. Yorm's caught up now. Like the level difference was 2. He's just... Well, I've just hit 13 and he is 12, so he's less than a level behind me now. So over my over-aggression has led to him catching back up. We do have a nice ward out again, so we should be able to catch Medusa rotating. And Yorm, for some reason, is just letting us clear waves, but I need to be careful not to be too aggressive. And here we go. We're doing what I wanted. But why is Yorm heading in that direction? Is Dusa over there? Why else would he be heading slightly in that direction? Well, I maybe should have thought about that, because instead I'm just rushing to go and proxy. Now, proxying is a useful tool in the solo lane. You should almost always check that you know where the jungler is. I didn't do that, and as you can see, I've been caught out here, but the idea is you just buy yourself some more time. I'm going to leap over a wall here because I know Medusa can't, but she can still almost catch me up. I can see the glow of the Medusa ultimate, so I use my blink. I get out this time, and I throw a little graveyard, a little rip in response. I'm going to try and protect my own jungle here, but Medusa's just rotating back to the middle. I should say enemies incoming middle here, but they'll know by now. So, proxying, very useful tool, but definitely make sure you know where the enemy jungler is, or that you can definitely handle the enemy jungler if they arrive. This time, I couldn't handle the jungler, I didn't know where they were. Yorm was sort of pathing in a weird way to suggest I might be getting ganked as well. I've never seen anyone run towards their jungler during a gank, but that's what he started to do. I should have read into it a little bit more. I'm just going to be annoying and stop his back here. If he wants to back, that means he has gold, which means if I've spent the majority of my gold, which I now have, and I now have my magical prot item, I should be winning those trades. So that's another thing to sort of pay attention to. I haven't been pressing tab anywhere near enough this game, but I've been largely keeping track of when he goes back. there is such a thing as like effective gold, and this is a ballsy freaking proxy. We just saw Medusa on a ward. We know she's coming. My team is screaming at me to back away. I misread this. I read this as my team screaming at me because they know Medusa's coming too. They weren't screaming at me for that reason. They were screaming at me for this reason. Vulcan is also here. So do listen to your team when they scream enemies incoming right. They don't just mean I saw the same thing you saw on a ward. They mean there's multiple enemies coming right. So yeah, I definitely should have heeded that call. I tried a little, like I say, I just got into proxying too late this game. I should have been doing this ages ago, and we would be in a much better position. I would probably be like 2-1-3, if not 3-1-1. Sorry, I should have been 2-1-1, if not 3-1-1 on the kill death ratio. Just because of the amount of pressure I would have been putting out. You know, Yorn would still have had to farm those waves in a much less safe environment. I could have ganked him thereafter. But no, it wasn't meant to be. I now notice, by the way, that, you know, I said it was 11-12 a second ago. Now 11-23. The last few minutes, solo lane can be a massive island. Like, so you can just have no idea what's going on the rest of the map, really. And even though I was getting ganked by Medusa and Vulcan, the rest of the map was still going terribly. So this one isn't necessarily my fault, but I definitely could have been in a position to arrive at that left lane fight and win it and come back in. But instead, my team here are voting to surrender. And that's going to be the end of that game. So there you have it. The key thing, I guess, to remember is if you're playing a lane bully and you feel like you should be bullying them, don't be over aggressive. Be careful of the enemy jungler and be mindful of what else you could be doing. You know, are those couple of basic attacks on the enemy solo laner really going to matter that much? Or can you go and steal some of their farm? That's where the true bully will make a difference in a game of Smite. So, if you have enjoyed this and you're looking for some more Smite content, we have plenty of that on the channel. One thing I would recommend if you're trying to get anyone into Smite, I haven't found a better actual beginner's guide than the one we have over here. So go and check that out, and if you feel like you can get your best friend, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your dog into Smite because of it, then that'll be great, and that'll be doing the world a favour.